Hey guys, it's Marissa, and today's video is going to be how to survive being a nerd in school. And I feel like nerd is a really weird word because I feel like sometimes nerd is a weird word that rhymes. I feel like sometimes people think nerd is like very stereotypical, like you have, I don't know, you're really good at school and you're into comic books. I don't know, I feel like people have a certain definition of nerd, but I feel like I was definitely a nerd in school. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about what you guys can do if you do feel nerdy. So for me, I feel like I didn't have that many like really good, concrete, best friend type people. I feel like I more had a lot of like acquaintances. I don't know, I felt like I had a lot of friends, but none of them were really like good ride or dies, you know, like BFFs. So I felt like in a lot of ways I felt like a nerd because I didn't really have one group of people that I hung out with. I was kind of like a floater, if you will. Like I kind of drifted around and I didn't, you know, like if you didn't show up one day to school or something, like nobody really missed you, nobody really asked about you. So in a lot of ways, I do feel like I was like a nerd. And I feel like a lot of people think that doing well in school makes you like a loser or a geek, or it means that like, I don't know, you're uncool or unpopular because you do really well in school. But I feel like those people are always just jealous because you're setting the bar really high by doing so well. Like, you know how some teachers are like, oh, the highest grade in the class was a 98. That's the new score to beat or whatever. So I feel like always try and do your best. Don't ever think you have to be like average or do badly in school. I don't know why I keep doing air quotes. My air quotes are gonna kill you. I don't know why people think doing badly in school is like cool or nifty, because I always felt bad for the people that the teacher would like single out and be like, this is your 10th fail in a row or whatever, or like tell them that they didn't do the homework. Like I don't know why people think that's cool, but it's not. Do your homework, study for the test, always try your best. Like if your best is a fail, then obviously, you know, you can get help. They usually have like after school tutoring and stuff. Obviously try your best. And if your best is average, which for me in math class and science class, my best was a C, but always do your best. So I feel like nerdy people tend to be shy, and I especially was super shy. Like, I don't know, it's intimidating, especially because high school and middle school are so cliquey, like everyone has their groups. So I think have a couple friends in at least a couple different groups if you can, just so that in case your main group or whatever is absent or on a school field trip, or I don't know, doesn't show up to school or something, like you have somebody else to hang out with, you have a backup. So if you are trying to make friends with people, especially people who are considered popular, like they're part of the popular gang or whatever, then definitely, this seems weird to say, but try not to come off as like super desperate or eager to make friends with them. I always feel like kind of feel it out, feel out their vibe, try and play it chill, because sometimes I feel like when you try and be super like, oh my god, I want to be friends with this person, I want to be friends with this person, like it comes off too over the top, or like, I don't know, I feel like it's best to play it cool because you might not have that much in common with them. Sometimes I felt like somebody was super popular and I really wanted to be friends with them and like make an effort and talk to them, and then when I finally would, I wouldn't even have that much in common with them. Like I was kind of like, huh, this was a disappointment. So just try not to be too eager, like try and feel it out, play it cool. Like, you know, maybe if they invite you to like go to their locker or something, you go, but just like, you know, don't try too hard essentially, because I feel like when you try too hard, then you open yourself up to like lots of disappointment. But if you're kind of like more laid back and relaxed, then it's kind of like if they don't want to be friends, whatever, whatevs. And also don't be so focused on being friends with like one group of people or even like one person in particular that's like popular or whatever. Just don't set your sight on just one person, because you might connect with a bunch of other people like that you didn't think you would connect with. So yeah, just try and be friends with people you have common interests with, or like even people that it's just you have a lot of classes with them, or like you have things in common. It's always the people that like you least expect that you become like BFFs with. And I know I said that whole don't be desperate thing, but I kind of feel like you should also, like, on the opposite side, you should also be putting yourself out there and making an effort and trying to talk to them, trying to initiate a conversation. Just because I notice whenever I want to be friends with somebody, you know, they're never just gonna come to me and like introduce themselves. Like, I kind of feel like I have to be the one to make the first move, bite the bullet, even if it's nerve-wracking. Like, go up to somebody and compliment them. Like, if somebody's mean to you after you just walk up and give them a nice compliment, then they're just mean, and you probably shouldn't be friends with them anyway. But I feel like complimenting them is always a safe one. If you have a class with them, you could like run up and ask them a question about the homework, about a test, about a pop quiz, you know, about a lesson plan, what chapters are we on. Find something good to talk about. And you can always start by talking about school, especially if it's someone sitting next to you, and then transition to talking about something else. Like, obviously, if you do give them a compliment, be genuine about it. Don't compliment them if they're just wearing like a plain black shirt and it's not cute. You could always like make a joke in class, see who laughs, but don't make a joke that's gonna get you in trouble with the teacher. You don't wanna do that, that's bad. So this one is kind of neat, but it's that like friends lead to other friends. So if you make friends with somebody, this one sounds weird, but if you make friends with somebody, they can kind of expose you to an entirely new group of friends that you wouldn't otherwise have. Like, I have this YouTube friend. Like, Sean and I, we had these YouTube friends, and I feel like she pointed this out to me the other day, but she was like, wow, we met this person, this person, this person, this person, this person through these friends. And so I'm just like, oh my God, that's so crazy. You're so right. Like, it's crazy to think that like friends can expose you to other friends. So you don't even need to try super hard with everybody, because I kind of feel like once you get in with like certain people, there's always kind of people that like oversee groups. They're not like the leaders, but they're kind of like, they're cool with everybody. They kind of bring people together, if you know what I mean. I feel like leader just has a bad connotation to it, but you know what I'm saying. So another tip is to try and make friends with people outside your school, not just in your classes. Like, it could be a neighbor, somebody you went to elementary school with, middle school with, somebody that goes to your church, like somebody that's just outside of class. I especially always loved the idea of being friends with a neighbor. I don't think there were any neighbors that lived near me that were my age ever, so it was always really complicated. But like, I always really liked that idea, because then you're always so close to them. You always have somebody to hang out with that's close by, that's literally like a 2-second walk from one another, so yeah. So I always love the idea of starting a club at your school. Like, it could be any kind of club. Ice cream club, that's my idea, guys. Don't steal it, just kidding. You can totally steal it. But anyway, yeah, I always like the idea of starting a club. Basically, it would be where you sit around and watch movies and eat ice cream. But I think you need like 8 or 10 people. So like, gather your friends, put up flyers, start an ice cream club. Like, who would not want to go during lunch, sit and watch movies and eat ice cream? Like, who would not love that? And I feel like it's a great way to make friends. So sometimes friendships end. Don't feel bad about it. It's natural, kind of like Jordan Woods and Kylie. Like, friendships end, and I feel like as sad as it is to talk about like friendships ending and people moving on, and like maybe this person, you didn't have much in common with them, maybe they weren't a best friend, maybe they talked behind your back. Anyway, I feel like it's sadder to stay in a friendship where you know the person's like not good for you, or not healthy, or not positive energy, rather than to like be friends with someone just because you're too afraid to like break it off, or like not be friends with them, or you know, make new friends or whatever. So I hope some of these tips helped you guys out. Let me know down below if like you guys are dealing with any of these, or like what you're struggling with, or what you want advice on in the future. Cause I feel like surviving being a nerd, that's just a title, guys. I feel like making friends and stuff, it can be harder than it sounds. Like, I feel like it seems so easy, and sometimes people just have so many friends, and I'm just like, how do I not have that many friends? How did they get to be so popular? But I feel like as long as you put yourself out there and you're like nice to people, it'll come back to you. And make sure and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And I love you guys. Mwah. Big kiss and bye, guys.